buckaronis or more, use promo code Facebook Live. Back to you, Boom.
All right.
Here we go.
So this is a Hurst Performance Research Corporation. This is a copy of how the car came out of Demmer Engineering. It's signed, received in good condition by Bill Demmer. So there you go.
But I want to point something out here. Look at that. Number
1.
Okay,
all right.
Guys, this answers your question.
Well, kind of. It should. But if you need more proof than that, okay.
Well, let's show that to you.
All right. So before we move on, there we go.
That's the original owner. That's the original sales order.
Yeah.
Back, so it was delivered new to Atlanta, Georgia. And this is what $5,159 would get for you guys back in the day.
Yeah, this is literally twice the price of a regular Chevy Impala.
That's right.
So, I mean, back in the day, Oldsmobile was a luxury car. So, there's a certificate of title in Georgia. Here is a reproduction of the actual window sticker for the car.
Now, what's interesting here, that's only says $4,800.
Right. So, I'm not sure where it is. Let's see.
Well, the window sticker doesn't show the Hurst Olds conversion, does it?
You had federal tax. You had a Georgia inspection fee. You had a sales tax, and you had a license. Ooh, it cost $8.50 to license and tag it in. Okay, so there we go. All right, so here's what is really important. It's these two pieces of paper right here. And so we'll start with this one, because this one is kind of the holy grail. Basically, what this tells you is it gives you the last 6 of your VIN number here, all right? And then it tells you your cowl date code, which is basically when the car was produced. This is, if listed, is the transmission number out of the car. And then this little block right here, it says Demmer number. It says, it gives you, these are the order that these cars came out of Demmer Engineering, okay? So if you look, this is the last 6 of the VIN here is 330745, okay? Here is that copy of the window sticker, 330745. And if we go up front here, I have PJ follow me around here. You look, hopefully you guys can see this in here. That is your actual VIN number on this car, 330745.
Now here's where it gets a little bit complicated.
Yes.
These cars were not converted in VIN sequence order.
No, they were not.
So what happened was they would have 6 or 7 of these cars or whatever, roll off the line, they'd put them on a transport, they'd send them over to Demmer, and they'd sit there in the parking lot. And then with no concern for which VIN came in first, they'd grab a car and they'd bring it in to get converted.
Yes. So they just, as they loaded them on trucks and loaded them off of trucks and parked them in the lot, they literally, like you said, walked out in the parking lot with a set of keys and cranked up a car and brought it in. What you'll also notice on here, though, is there were 2 prototype cars. The first one says prototype, but the second one is the first one to be registered, but there's no number by it. It doesn't have a produced by Demmer number, so it's interesting. I don't know what happened to that car.
And let me discuss that topic so everybody understands. So when you bought one of these Hurst Olds brand new in 1969, there was a little card that you filled out in the glove box or in the console.
Yeah.
And so when you filled that card out, it was a marketing card. You'd send it back into Hurst Olds, to Hurst Performance. They'd register your car as part of the Hurst Olds registry. And then they would send you a poster or some decals, and every once in a while they'd send you some marketing material. They wouldn't email it to you, I know that much.
Right. No.
And so there's a whole other order of cars, and that is, what order did people send back the postcards? Did the original owner send back the postcards to be registered in the Hurst registry, and that's a whole different sequence. And that has nothing to do with how they were produced. It has to do with how quickly the owners got those postcards back to Hurst. And somewhere out there, there's a gentleman or there's a lady who will raise their hand and says, I have the first Hurst registry Hurst Olds.
Yes.
Because that postcard got back to them.
And we can tell you what VIN number that is. That VIN number actually ends in 251223. That's the VIN number on it right there.
But it's not the first car converted, and that's
It was
very
not
important.
the first car converted, no.
And the car that we're giving away is the first car converted by Demmer Engineering.
Yep.
And it is not the first VIN number scheduled to be converted by Demmer Engineering. Well, it's not the first Hurst Olds pre-conversion that came off the line at Oldsmobile. Because for whatever reason, they didn't grab that car first. In fact, George Hurst, you would think that George Hurst would get car number 1, but that's
He
not
did not.
the
He
truth.
got car
In fact,
number 3.
And Boomer showed that to them.
Yeah. So there you go right there. 331730, which is actually a lower VIN number. Okay, an earlier VIN number. But it was built, it was actually built later. It's the 3rd week of April.
Amazing. Amazing. So there you go again. We weren't there in 1969. We can't tell you all the little intricacies that made what we're telling you happen. We can just tell you that these are facts because the Hurst Olds Club of America has spent decades documenting these cars. Before we move on to other paperwork, let's see if anybody has any questions as to how we know this is car number 1. Gang?
Jonathan wants to know, would this car be good to go as a daily driver if work was just 12 miles away?
Every day. I would. You're
So,
the guy who tells me to drive them.
Jonathan, where do you live? Where does Jonathan live? Jonathan, where do you live? Shoot, I need to know where you live first. Because if you're going to park this on the street in Detroit, my answer to you is going to be no.
Fair enough.
All right? If you live in New York City, my answer is going to be no.
Oakland, California.
Probably not. You're going to come back and find what used to be, or what is left of a Hurst Olds. But
Value?
what's the value of the car?
No, because of the value.
Oh, because of the value. Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course. But if you live...
And the rarity.
And the rarity. Absolutely. Where do you live, Jonathan?
New Hampshire.
New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire. I think he'd probably be okay.
I think in the month and a half of summer that you have,
Pothole season.
you would be okay. But I definitely would not recommend driving this car in the winter.
And there you go. Okay, next question about the numbers on this car.
That's it.
Okay.
For the card.
Do you have some more paperwork you want to share with
Let's
here
see.
with the binder?
What else
Is that
do we-
okay, PJ?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All
there's
right,
some
so-
neat stuff there. So
yeah.
some more Demmer paperwork. Hold on, we have a question there. Oh.
This is when the car was delivered from Oldsmobile to Hurst. So this is giving it back to the dealer, it looks like.
Okay, and you can see the VIN number right on there.
Yep.
And you can see the dates on there. So we see April 11th.
Yeah, well, this is March, and then this is April. So
April.
this must be when they gave it to be converted, and this must be when it went back over to Demmer. I don't know. It's interesting, yeah.
Do
Okay.
all the body panels match? Scott wants to know.
Do they match? To our knowledge, all of these body panels are the original panels.
To our knowledge.
Yes. Normally, if it's a GM reproduction, it'll be stamped GM reproduction. We have not seen any of that on any of the body panels in this car. So,
Okay, now that's interesting. What's that? This is well, that's not back from the 60s. This was when the car changed hands
Looks
back
like
in
it.
1987. So how much was this car sold for in 1987?
looks like $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Guys, don't offer to double our money on that, okay?
Yep.
Daryl wants to know, why does it not have the bumper jack slots in the bumper in case you have a flat?
You know, that is such a great question. We've looked at this before. Some of the GM cars have it, like the GTO definitely has it because I looked at it, and I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't either. It does come with a jack, but obviously the bumper jack slots are not there unless they are up underneath this car, which I don't remember them being there, but let me take a look.
You guys are tough on us with
Yeah,
these
they are.
questions today.
No, there are no jack spots in this bumper. So I don't know. It may just be the way that these 442 bumpers were made.
Yeah.
That's a great question. We'll have to go back and research that one and figure it out.
We'll look that up. What else you got in it?
All right. So from Hurst Performance, basically what they're telling you with this is what went into the motor, what they did a little bit differently in this motor than a regular motor, the 455 that came off. And it tells you your dwell and your timing, your fast idle and slow idle. And of course they break it down. Fast idle for a non-air conditioning car is 900, and then for an air conditioner car it's 700. That should be your fast idle, but your slow idle should be right around 575 with the transmission and drive.
There you go.
There's your carburetor adjustments, your parts numbers for your distributor, how to set your vacuum advance, the gap for your spark plugs, which really don't exist anymore. This, of course, covers your speedometer gear ratios depending on what you have in the car. Let's see, there's a back page to this.
And the part numbers.
Yeah, and then the part numbers for a lot of the stuff that's on here.
Now the next piece that's coming up is really neat, and I like this next piece. You're going to get to a whole lot. If you went into an Oldsmobile dealer in 1969, they had a special performance catalog because they were really trying to go after the youth market. In fact, their slogan in 1969 was not Oldsmobile, but tell them, Boomer.
Youngmobile.
Youngmobile thinking.
Yep,
1969.
There you go.
And I'll tell you what, if you met those people at a party, what would you do?
They're very interesting people. I bet they did very well. So basically, you just flip through here. Look at that. Look at that Tornado. Oh my goodness.
Love it, love it.
That was a thing of beauty back in '69.
Yeah. And so this is the dealer brochure.
Yep. Look at that interior.
Tornado. Yeah, I gotta dig it. I love the vinyl embossing and the cloth inserts on the seat. And then
there's the 98.
98. Guys, your garage is not long enough to put
Oh, that's it. They called it 98
98
because it was 98 miles long.
Ba-dum-bum.
And there you have it. Okay. Yeah, look at it. Look at the interior on that thing. That is absolutely gorgeous. Okay.
That's great stuff.
There's a 98. There's the Holiday sedan. That's nice. All right, there's your Delta 88 Royale.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
The two-door big car. Of course, it still came with a 455 as well, I do believe. And then there's the Delta 88 Custom.
Yeah.
Came in a two-door and a four-door. Look at that. They show you how much luggage you can get in the trunk. Look at that.
Look at that.
I've lived in apartments that weren't that big, so. All right. Here's your regular Delta 88.
Yeah.
All set up to go bush hunting, it looks like. It did come in a convertible, though. That's pretty cool. And then here is your 442.
And that's neat. It's got the wheels on it.
Yep.
Got the 14s, the SS4s.
But these have the chrome rings on them.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's got the red line tires.
Yep.
Someone says you could build two cars out of the material used on that 98.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that 4-speed shifter in that 442.
Yep.
That's nice.
That's pretty cool.
Now, you wouldn't see the Hurst Olds in here because remember that the Hurst Olds was not an official factory product.
Right.
It was a special edition product built in cooperation with Oldsmobile. So you're not going to read anything about that here in the, the official dealer brochure.
The 442s only got 400s.
Only got 400s because of a GM edict.
Yes.
That's how Dammer and Hurst went around the rule and dropped a 455
Yep.
in here.
So let's see if there's anything else in here. There's
Okay.
there's the Cutlass Supreme.
Yeah.
So if you could join the French Foreign Legion and go off and drive your Cutlass Supreme, it looks like.
Someone saying sad Oldsmobile is no longer produced. I agree. And same with Pontiac.
Yeah, there's your Cutlass
both
S.
two great brands, legacy of American performance, and we miss them both a whole lot.
How about this? This is the Oldsmobile F85.
Yeah, yeah.
Boomer be working on that one.
Yeah, and there you go.
There you go, your Vista Cruiser.
Yeah.
Everybody, if you were somebody and you had a big family back in the late 60s, early 70s, you had a wood panel van or a wood panel wagon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Daryl says his first car was a 69 442 blue, like the GTO.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, some more shots there of that. And there
Yep,
we go,
there you
a
go.
shot of the Oldsmobile wagon. And what's interesting, the other day someone had a question. They said, are you correct in using the word big block on an Oldsmobile engine? And yes, we are. And I think that the person may have been thinking of Pontiac. In Oldsmobile, there is a difference, and in fact, they're even painted different from the factory. And it has to do with the riser on the block. So an Oldsmobile 455 is considered a big block. An Oldsmobile 403, like you would have gotten in the late 70s on a Pontiac Firebird or a Trans Am, so, along with a bunch of other cars, was considered an Oldsmobile small block. But yes, it is totally fine to use the terms Oldsmobile small block and big block, the 455, of course, being the big block. Now, it's not the huge difference in visual that a Chevy small block and a Chevy big block is.
True. It's all about
But-
internals.
All about internals. There you go.
Eric
Okay.
says he had an Olds Cutlass Kelly.
Calais. Yes, Cutlass Calais.
And when he was 20, in his 20s, loved it, fast, comfortable.
Yeah, good stuff.
I mean, we've talked about this several times. Oldsmobile made higher end cars.
Yeah.
Oldsmobile was basically one step down from Cadillac.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where your 88s and your 98s, those were luxury cars.
Absolutely. Indeed.
Daryl says intake manifolds are wider and also painted differently.
That is correct on the big block Oldsmobile.
Yes.
Daryl, good call on that, Daryl. All right, tell you what, let's put that book away where it's someplace safe. If you
I
want
will.
To. Okay, and we're going to wrap it up for today. Again, Hurst Olds #1. We proved it right there in the binder. We've got the documentation. Are we going to give that to the winner?
We are going to give that to the winner.
Good. So if you're the winner, you'll have all that paperwork that we just showed you. 2 weeks left, 14 days. Get your entries at www.dreamgiveaway.com. What are we doing tomorrow at 1 o'clock?
We are giving away the 2020 Hellcat Charger wide body 1,000 horsepower beast tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and she's sitting right there. So that's going to be done tomorrow. And also, don't forget, the Ultimate Fun Haver F-150 is going to go at the end of the month as well, so we'll be giving that away.
And we can't show a picture of that yet, but that's okay. You guys can see it at dreamgiveaway.com.
And then end of May, will be the 2 Camaros.
And I made the 2 Camaros, that's right.
And we got something really cool for you here in a week or so. We did a Evans coolant swap out today in the 69 Camaro. So that video will be hitting the street here fairly soon, as our video guys get that edited, and that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Eric wants to know, Boomer, how fast have you had this car going?
I haven't had this car very fast. I think the fastest we've been in this car is probably about 75, 80 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. These old classics like this, I don't like to burn them up too much.
No, but this has a nice highway gear on the back, a 308, or it has to have a 308 if it's got AC.
Yeah.
So honestly, that's just highway speed in this
Andrew
car.
wants to know if she gets that T-shirt with her Hellcat.
We may have a few of them left. I don't know.
If there's some left, the winner will put some in the car for you.
Yeah.
If we have some left, we'll see. Let's wrap it up.
All right. So remember, go to www.dreamgiveaway.com, make that donation to charity, and you're going to be in it to win it on all these beautiful cars. We don't want you to miss out. Of course, Hurst Olds ending in 14 days. Ultimate Fun Haver ending not too long after that. Giving away a Hellcat tomorrow, and at the end of March, you're looking at 2 Camaros, the 69 Resto Mod and the 2020 ZL11 LE. Man, and we've got some great stuff coming up at you. The garage is busting at the seams with new cars right now.
Don't show it, PJ.
No, PJ's trying to sneak one in on us. I am so full back there in the back, I can't hardly move. But we're going to start letting some of those cars out to you here fairly soon. You're going to love what's coming up for you this summer.
Yeah, that's a promise. Take it from Boomer. We'll see you next time. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes like the Hurst Olds. You only have 14 days left to enter. We'll see you next time in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
See you next time.